Hey guys, welcome back to Unicycle Lore. Got some stuff to go over. Unicon ended, which means it's time for me to do my little bit of coverage. Didn't have a ton of time to plan, so I just opened up a bunch of tabs about stuff that I wanted to talk about, and this is sort of going to just be my stream of consciousness, kind of just spewing that at you, and I hope you enjoy, or at least find it entertaining. Okay, some of this is stuff that I missed last time. Speed trials. I meant to talk about this in the last video. Completely forgot. So, this event happened last week after actual trials and everything else. I love speed trials, man. It's like a head-to-head race. Like, I don't have any footage of it pulled up, but you just look it up on the Unicon website. It is so sick. It's very cool. Here's the female results. In first place, Anna Steiner. Second place, Evelyn Rohn. And in third place, Sophia Van Veen. And these are names that we've seen multiple times now. Okay, this is a very successful Unicon for these competitors. In the male category, the winner was Jacob Flansbury of Flansbarium fame. You guys have probably recognized this dude's name, North American rider. Very cool to see him taking home the gold. This guy's been around for a very long time. I think Jacob Flansbury is one of the... I hate to say this. I don't know how other people consider his riding. I feel like his riding is underrated. Every time I ride with Jacob Flansbury, I'm just like, this dude is insanely good. His control of the unicycle is nuts. He's a good street rider, too. He's been riding with Hugo for a long time. Second place, Marin Michaud. That's a name you'll recognize if you follow trials at all. And in third, Mael Robert. This dude had a pretty successful Unicon, like we discussed last time. Mark Fabian and Julian Schrott round out your top five. And then in sixth, Johannes Baumkirchner. There's another dude that I meant to talk about last time, and it just slipped my mind in the middle of all this. But this guy set a world record in long jump. This is track long jump. 460 centimeters. That's 4 meters, 60 centimeters. That is, almost 5 meter long jump. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. And look at the technique. It just looks like he's flying. This is nuts. I think this is an interesting example of, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but I feel like I remember long jump in 2009, 2010 being a competition dominated by guys on 19-inch wheels. And then in 2011 at NAUCC, Jacob Spera and Hugo, if I remember correctly, they competed in long jump on 24-inch wheels. And since then, in the 15 years after that, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of, this is like, I'm scrambled here a little bit, but if I remember right, they were competing for a world record in 2011, and they had introduced the 24-inch wheel. They introduced it in a street context and then realized it would be sick in a long jump competition. And so for the first time in an official comp, at least that I can remember, these dudes were ripping on 24-inch unicycles and just flying. And I remember it being a very hype competition. While the two of them kind of were battling it out. I hope I'm not misremembering this. And since then, it's become, the standard is to ride a 24-inch wheel, which I think is an interesting example of cross-contamination of urban disciplines in a track event, because this guy has obviously optimized the technique here. This is crazy. 4 meters 60. Yeah, that is nuts. He's riding so fast. It looks nuts. World record there. I got another world record for you. Speaking of dudes riding fast, look at this. Okay, this is Misaki Uchida. I saw this morning on the One Wheel First channel that I talked about last time. This channel is awesome for keeping up with these track events and the sport events. Let me turn this up. You will see right away who is the dude setting the world record. Look at how fast this guy is going. That's insane. This guy, look at his lead. He is absolutely humming. His legs are going so fast. I've always thought unicycle track races, I've always thought they look kind of silly. You know what I mean? Riding a unicycle inherently is kind of a silly thing. But you gotta respect the technique. I mean, come on. Look at how fast he's going. That is sick. Congratulations, Misaki Uchida. I don't think that's the only world record that guy set either. I'm pretty sure he set I hope I'm not misspeaking, but I'm pretty sure this dude also set a world record in the 400 meter, which is crazy. You can tell he trains for this. He's a professional, and that is sick. All right, now let's get into the real. This is what I wanted to talk about. I've been waiting to talk about this. I'm not going to do it justice in this video. This is the Flatland results. Flatland, obviously, kind of my bread and butter. And we have got, for the first time in Unicon history, in the history of Flatland unicycling, back-to-back world champion, Stefan Ronk. He did it. He did it with the bum shoulder. It did not look like it affected his riding at all. Okay, I watched all the live battles. I watched the whole live stream. I took notes in my little journal. I was like scribbling stuff down, judging the events on my own time. I'm going to talk about all of this in a separate video. This guy is the ultimate unicycle flatland competitor. Okay, I'm seeing shades of Adrian Delacroix, just dialed up to 11. Okay, this dude is absolutely crazy. The fact that he went for it on the dislocated shoulder and was able to pull it off is obviously extremely impressive. And we're going to talk about Steffi a little bit, but just look how he won. Okay, this was his final trick in the final battle. Look at this. Just a perfect Adria whip. I mean, like, dude, if you're going to win a flat comp, that is how you do it. Okay, this throw in the Adria whip. Just look at how sick this looks, by the way, with the Jumbotron in the back with Steffi. And I didn't even mention Trey yet. Trey got second place. And in third place, Yella Dillon. This is a sick top three. These guys, this is very cool, in my opinion. Trey, the fight he put up in that final battle, it was so sick to watch. Okay, I was kind of geeking out watching this stuff. If you want to see the highlights, you can check them on the official Unicon page. But this is like, it was very hype. The battles were sick. The stuff these guys pull off is like, one of the things I noticed that I want to talk about a little more in depth when I break down some of these battles, is the way that modern flat riders, the way they lean on these just absolutely busted roll combos. As you know, from a spectator's perspective, as someone who's been there competing, the way they lean on those ridiculous roll combos, as like it looks like that's how they take a breather. Okay, and from my perspective, the most difficult part of flatland riding is stringing together a roll combo. I don't know if that's just a personal thing, you know, like a personal weakness of mine, but I feel like that used to be kind of like, I don't know, like standard wisdom, essentially, was that doing a combo in a flat battle was like you're taking a risk. You know, you're taking a risk by throwing a combo out there. And the ones these guys pull off when it's like they need a second to slow down and kind of catch their breath, because the momentum shifts a lot in these long battles. The final battle, you know, when you got a minute and a half that you need to fill before you get to your final trick, that's like a lot of riding you have to do. And so there are moments where the momentum shifts in favor of your opponent. And I watch both of these guys. It's like they'll try a trick, maybe miss one, maybe miss two, and it's like, all right, you got to calm down. And so then they throw out a combo, and the combo is just like, it's like I can't even keep up with it. You know, and props to Dale for emceeing this, because he was able to keep up with all of it. Half the time I was watching, I was just looking at my notebook and taking little glances at the screen to see, like, is that actually what he's doing? And he was just nailing all of it. But this final battle is so sick, guys. I don't know if it's just recency bias, but to me it's like, it seemed like the sickest final battle of all time. I could not have asked for a better final battle. Look, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah. So, to me, this is like a really close final battle. Okay, really close. I'm spoiling all the stuff I was going to talk about later, but I'll break this down a little more in depth at some point. But this was a very close final battle until this. Because that is just, it's tough to beat that as a final trick. You know what I mean? Imagine you're in like essentially a tie battle from my perspective. You know, I might have to go back and see if I actually mean that. But to me, it looked, just from the eye test, it was looking like basically a tie. And then he does an Adria whip. It's like, what are you going to do to back that up? You got to do something huge. You have to do a massive banger to back that up because it's like, it's one of the sickest tricks. Let's look at everybody, you know? And Trey's trick, this is a good trick. It's a good trick. One spin over Trey flip. I can't do that. I don't know many people who can. Crazy trick. It's just extremely technical, you know? The final trick has to be just explosive, and a big explosive banger of a trick. And Trey is just like, he's insanely good. Okay, one spin over Trey flip. The fact that he could pull that into comp is nuts. It's just so technical, and he has optimized the technique to where it's like it does not hit the way this hits. Okay, it does not hit like this. And so I think that's, you know, the fact that Steffi could pull that in you know, it's clutch time. This is the most clutch unicyclist of all time, bar none. Okay, without a doubt. He needed to do a banger to win that battle, and to pull off an Adria whip. You know, dude earned that gold medal. Back-to-back gold medals. Insane accomplishment. Just so cool. And I got to talk about the whole battle at some point. Just drop a comment so I don't forget. If you want to hear a full breakdown, I want to talk about every single trick that each of them landed. It'll probably end up being like, I don't know, a 20-minute video to break down a 4-minute battle. But if you want to see other moments of the competition, you got to go on Trey's channel here. He's uploading the basically everything they filmed from both of the flat comps, and it's really sick. You can see I was going through watching the prelim runs. I'll talk about the prelims as well at some point. I watched some of them, but I didn't like go in and take notes and do all my unicycle nerd stuff yet, but I will. If you guys want that, I will do that. The flat comp was awesome. To the people who organized the live stream and who put this event together, I mean, the venue is sick. The MCs were the MC experience looked crazy. Like they had Dale doing play-by-play commentary, and then he also had a color commentator on the side. I'm forgetting her name, and I got to look it up because she was also good. Like it was just a nice experience for the spectators, I imagine. You know, let me see. I'm sorry, I don't know who it was. That was emceeing with Dale, but she did a good job. Let's see if she's in here. What was her name? Like they did like a flat battle bingo. There she is. You can see this is a legit event. Look at all these people. Yeah, it was sick. Very, very cool. There's Dale doing the play-by-play. Yeah, I just love the whole setup. I love that the judges are up here. I mean, they had that last Unicon. The whole vibe, just very legit. Flat competitions have come so far, guys. They have come so far. I might have to talk about that as well. Just the evolution of Flatland competitions. Because the first world champion way back, 2008, was the first Flatland World Championship ever. The first time they did flat at Unicon, and it was just, you had to run. You just did a run. I think it was a 2-minute run. The winner was Loic Baud from France. And it was just, you know, you could tell they just kind of tacked it on there in the end. They were like, all right, fine, we'll do a flat competition. And as time has gone on, and this has been refined, it has just become more and more legit and more awesome. And this is like the pinnacle, okay? This just was awesome. I loved it. Okay, moving on. I got to move on. Because street also happened. The winner of the street comp was Yella Dillon. I'm going to be honest with you. I would not have called that. By the look of this, I don't think he would have either. He says somehow managed first place at the World Championship. But Yella's been on the podium a lot at EUC and stuff. Like, this is a seasoned veteran. And I mentioned early on, you know, you really can't count him out. This is a guy who's just become so comfortable on the unicycle that he will always be a threat to do some serious damage in a competition. He's got a sick bag of tricks, and he just, you know, he doesn't really miss. He's very consistent. He's got good style. I'm happy to see Yella win this. This is like, you know, a veteran rider. He's been around the block a few times. And speaking of veteran riders, the silver medalist was Waylon. Okay, my OBS stopped recording right when I got done talking about Yella. But in second place was Waylon Bat. And I don't know who would have called this. Did anyone know he was going? I mean, it looks like he popped off here. This is a full Vario flip down the big stair set. That is, that's crazy. So Waylon looks like he was just starting to kind of hit his stride at the end of Unicon here. From what I understand, he was probably pretty rusty. Hadn't ridden a whole lot. But some of this stuff is nuts, man. 180 flip under, like, he definitely still got it. I hope this makes him want to ride. It says, I guess I'll try riding more now. I hope he's real about that. Flip under, out flip, like, these are all just sick tricks. And in third place was Wout, which I'm also glad to see Wout on the podium. Wout rides fast, all right? And I think that's something Street needs more of. I think that's cool. I think he's got great style. That's the type of riding I'd like to see in street comps. But yeah, that's gonna do it for Unicon coverage for now. Like I said, I might go back through. Not might. I'm definitely going to go in and talk about the flat competition some more. It's, depending on how much time I have, I might do all the battles, or maybe just like the last couple battles, or just the consolation final and the final battle, or just the ones that I thought were cool. Definitely the final battle, though. I want to talk about the final battle in detail, definitely. So one more thing before I go here. You should go donate to this. Let me just check, make sure that my thing didn't stop here. Okay, yes, we're still good. We're still good. You should go donate to this GoFundMe, okay? Dow and Mark are raising funds to finalize an indie film project here about Mark, the legend himself, five-time Trials World Champion. I mean, that's crazy. He's 36 years old. This is... Listen, dude, I respect Mark more than I can really put into words. This guy is just an absolute... He is an absolute unicycle legend. And I want to see this movie. Okay, I want to hear Mark's thoughts about unicycling. Anyone who's been doing this for over 20 years, in my opinion, just like... I want to hear their thoughts on it. I want to know what unicycling has brought to him. I've got tons of thoughts about unicycling. That's why I made this channel. Well, that's why I revived the channel anyway. It's why I sit here and yap about it so much. There's something about it that it's more deeply meaningful than just like, for me, it's, it looks like it's just a trick stick. I just go out there and pop tricks on it, but it's taught me lessons that go beyond just that. And I'm assuming that Mark has a similar story to tell. And, yeah, I'd love to hear his take. And I know that Dow is the guy to make this film. I love Dow's videos. I think he's a massive asset to our unicycle community. I want to see this. I'm going to be donating. Right now, there's more than halfway there to the donation goal on just 61 donations. Imagine if we get 100 donations, If you donate, drop a comment below, because you're a legend, and I'd like to see. So, yeah, I think this is going to do it for general Unicon coverage, unless there's something that I missed that you would like me to talk about. Please, if so, drop a comment or send me an email. It's unicyclelore@gmail.com. Like I said, I love getting emails there. Okay, I love when I open that thing up and there's emails in there. Sometimes I'm a little slow to respond. I like to wait until it fills up a little bit, and then I go through when I get some time on like a Saturday or a Sunday, and I bang them out. So yeah, send me an email if there's anything I didn't cover, any world records I missed. Maybe I'll do a compilation of all the world records that happened there. Any NBDs people landed that I missed. I'd like to see all of it. Yeah, just let me know what you thought of this Unicon coverage. I'm going to try to do this for more events moving forward. I had a really good time. Watching Unicon, and especially the flat comp. The flat competitions I've come so far. It just blows my mind, the state of them in 2026. It is really awesome. So, yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.